Hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Talk Live on this very special Halloween. We have an incredible show for you. We have our first celebrity guest. We have many things for you. I'm dressed in my LL Bean sweater. Shout out to the East Coast. LL Bean used to clothe me all through growing up in Seattle. That's what my mom would buy anyway. Anyway, let me tell you a couple of things. We have a PSA today. You know how I bag on restaurants when they do bad things?
Yeah.
Well, I have a 72 Carmen Ghia red convertible that I love. Had some issues, and I brought it to Top Shop. Top Shop is on Patterson. Santa Barbara, works on all VWs, new and old. They are the finest people, human beings, ever to fix VWs.
Yeah.
So I had it there a few days. They did a lot of work to it. They came $300 down from their original estimate. When I drove the car away, I was so excited because it felt so good. And then the car conked out. Of course, I get mad. I call up like every other jack saying, I just paid X amount of bucks and my car just stalled. So the owner comes out. He's doing all these little experiments or tests. And he goes, do you have any gas in here? And I'm like,
Whoops.
I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. So the owner drove all the way back to the shop, got a 5-gallon can, went to the gas station, filled it up, filled my car up, followed me to the gas station, and away I went.
Yeah, I got to say, that's impressive, man. That's old school customer service. That's the real deal.
Top Shop Santa Barbara, bring your VW there. They are legit. I mean, these guys are really cool.
And I could attest, I heard him drive by yesterday, and I told you, that thing sounds super healthy. What'd you do to it?
Yeah, sounds good. I want to introduce the celebrity that we have today. I can't believe that he's here. He's here under a couple of conditions, though. He's going through kind of a messy divorce, and he told me before the show, don't ask any questions. And I'm like, dude, this is a talk show. He goes, do you want me to stay or do you want me to go? And I said, all right. I want you to stay, obviously. Sure. So from the Craig Ferguson show, we have Jeff. And you have Jeff on camera? Jeff, we want to thank you. I know you haven't worked in a while. And he doesn't want me to ask any questions. And I probably should have mentioned his divorce. But anyway, he did mention to me before the show that the reason he's here is because he lives in Santa Barbara. I didn't know that. He lives up in the hills with all the rest of the Hollywood. Did you know that every beautiful woman that went on Craig Ferguson gave him their phone number?
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's probably how the divorce happened. But anyway, I'm kidding, Jeff.
Sorry.
He
might still be going through it, man. Careful. You might be getting him in trouble.
What he told me this morning was the reason he's here is because he's seen a few of our shows and he liked what he saw. And
that's impressive.
That was everything to me.
It's nice to see a celebrity step forward and say that.
Well, the reason he's here is because he wants to make it okay for other local celebrities to come on Real Talk Live. And I'm like, man, when we make it big, John, when you and I start, Howard Stern, like Joe Rogan kind of thing, we're going to the garages in Goleta, and we're gonna be guests on all your guys' shows. We're gonna pay it forward.
Doing it.
Yeah, and it's the irony of having a skeleton on Halloween. That's crazy too. You know what I mean? But Jeff, welcome. I always enjoyed you on Craig Ferguson. Let me say, I'm a big comedy fan. I go to all the guys when they come to town. One of my favorites, John Larroquette. Not John Larroquette. John Larroquette's good, but John Lovett, funniest guy in the world.
Yep.
Sinbad. I like Sinbad. I like Craig Ferguson came to Chumash one time, and I swear to God, from 2 solid hours, I couldn't stop laughing. I don't know if it's English, Scottish, dry humor. It's just intelligent humor. He's just funnier than crap, and it was his old boss, so it's kind of neat having him here. And the namesake Ferguson, that's not why I'm after that, but it doesn't hurt. So maybe I'll hashtag Craig Ferguson on this show and get some viewers.
Yeah, he's probably allowed to get away with a little bit more in life too, right?
Oh my God, he's got the story about the Rolling Stones. All his stories are real. So he has a story where Mick Jagger called him up, and he does his voice, he does his impression. He goes, "Hello Ferguson, could you come out here and fly? I'm in Paraguay. We're on tour. I'll pay for your trip." So he wanted him to do a film for Mick Jagger, and he didn't end up doing it, but he went all the way out to Paraguay or wherever that was, and he was just saying little things like, he goes, oh yes, I'm calling room service. I want a quesadilla and a Butterfinger. Do you want one, Craig? I mean, that alone made me crack up. A quesadilla and a Butterfinger, Mick Jagger.
Is that what Mick's eating? And then he just dances on stage for 4 hours?
A couple of years ago, I think he's eating Clint Eastwood vitamins right now.
Yeah.
I think those days are over.
Yeah, the spaceman food.
Yeah, pills, a lot of vitamins, A through Z.
Yeah, you got like one blue, one pink.
Yeah, like the silver pills that I was mentioning the other day.
Yeah, how'd those work out?
Oh, look at me, man. I got a shiny coat. Everything's working out. Got strong teeth.
Were you able to read the label?
Anyway, so listen, we want happy Halloween to everybody. I want to tell a little bit about my Halloween stories. I'm sure you have some Halloween stories.
Yeah.
I have some that I'm not so proud of, and I'm going to take this opportunity as the public forum that I have, and apologize to a couple of people back when I was like 10, 12 years old. I'll start from the very beginning. You know that I dressed up as a girl one time for Halloween.
Wow.
I went through some pictures, and there's a picture of me, and I think I was 3 or 4, and my brothers. One was a hobo, one was a crazy scientist, and here I am with a yellow wig on and a pink dress. I swear to God. Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up, but that's what happened. So throughout the years, Halloween to me, not only it's a kid's holiday. I mean, it's so fun. It's like it shouldn't even exist. A kid goes, "Wait, I'm going to dress up in cool stuff, and you're going to give me candy?"
Yeah, I get to dress up like my favorite hero.
Right.
And, yeah, exactly.
And then you get to an age where candy becomes like a commodity. It's like, wait a minute, I got to plan this out now. I got one night. This is a seasonal thing, right?
Yeah.
I need to get a pillowcase in case it rains. That's what we did. We're not going to get a tear in our bag. And where I lived, we had these houses. You had to go up 3 and 4 flights of stairs, and that just didn't map out.
Whoa, you had to work.
We put a pencil to it. You got about a 70% chance of getting candy at any house, because they're either not going to be home or they're going to be an empty dish or something like that. So 8 blocks up was the Sand Point Country Club, Flatland. Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, we just tore through the hedges and went house to house to house. So we usually planned out 2 or 3 neighborhoods. But in doing so, there was a kid named Dwayne Wilkins, and he was tall for his age, and I think I was probably going through some stuff where I wasn't behaving too well at home, and he was a friend. He came to my birthday party. Went to his birthday party, but one time I went to his house on Halloween, and they knew I was going to do something. And I remember the sister answering, and we're like, "Happy Halloween," and they're like, "Happy Halloween," and we kind of stared each other down, and they put some stuff. It's just like, give me the money. No one's going to get hurt. And everybody slowly exchanged their trick or treats and their candy. And as soon as they closed the door, I just nailed the door with eggs.
Oh,
and I think such a crappy thing to do.
Yeah, looking back, but at the time
it was horrible.
That was
well half an hour later, I saw this red car. Cops were blue cars, so I knew it wasn't a cop, but it was going as fast as a cop. It's my mom's Volvo. Just came and shrieked and screeched the brakes. And she said that, Mrs. Wilkins just called me and told me everything he did. So, but anyway, Dwayne, man, and you might be watching this because I know you live up in Seattle. And anyway, I'm absolutely, incredibly sorry for acting like a dumb. It's all right. Apologies to you for that. Anyway, tell me about some Halloween stories that you did.
We did some dumb stuff. Like we had a place called Portuguese Bend where I grew up. Supposedly
Portuguese Bend.
Yeah,
we're getting cultural.
Near like Trump Golf Course in like Palos Verdes area.
Wow.
And it was supposed to have headless dogs and all this crazy stuff. So everybody would always camp out outside and wait for one of the residents to go in so you could piggyback behind them through the gates. You never saw anything. You just
like a fancy country club.
It was like a gated community.
So you're going for
the gated community.
You're going for the big candy bars, is what you're doing, right? By the big
houses?
No.
This was we're gonna go see a ghost. This is like kind of later on. This is once you had a car or something like that.
Okay.
Halloween. I don't. We weren't smart enough to map out stuff. We had really good neighbors, and they used to give us the monsters, so we didn't have to go anywhere. We had a killer neighborhood that I'd go to near an elementary school. That was always like the honey hole. As a kid. That's.
You ever do toilet paper in people's houses or anything like that?
Not on Halloween, but I remember one year we did get a little crazy. And I can't remember. I don't know if we actually got away with it. I remember like sneaking, like riding in the back of a truck, me and a friend, and having just this huge pile of eggs and buying the eggs. And obviously, it's like 9 o'clock at night. They know what you're buying.
Yeah, 12-year-olds buying 8 dozen eggs. We're making paella.
And I don't remember what happened. I think we either almost got caught or got caught. So we took off and we're in the bed of the truck now. So, my buddy goes, "Hey, stay down. There's a cop." So we had to ditch the eggs and the whole, it was horrible. We were horrible criminals. We didn't get busted. So that's
you ever did the pumpkin dump? We did, a friend of mine had a truck and we went to a grocery store, they keep the pumpkins outside, and we loaded the truck up. Bad, Ben. And then we went to the top of 70th and 50th. I lived at 8 blocks down. And there were steep hills, and we just waited till we saw headlights and just 50 pumpkins and blah, 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 and they just But speaking of, my first kiss was in a cemetery. Now I was always scared of cemeteries, always scared. And this girl, her name was Lorraine, and I just got my license. A little late. Well, it wasn't the first kiss, but I guess it was the first kiss that actually meant something, right?
Now, was the cemetery her idea or yours?
Her idea. Okay. I wouldn't have been in there, but she said, do you want to go to the cemetery? And I'm like, sure. And so we went to the cemetery. She goes, "Let's go to the cemetery and kiss," or something like that. I'm like, "Woo!" So she brought me into the cemetery, and it's the one where I have a big bench up there right now as we speak for my mom, my grandma, my grandfather, my mom. I even have my name on it. But just down the way from that bench, she pulled over, and it was a Hispanic gentleman's name. It was like Cabrillo or something. And we pulled over, and she goes, pull over right here. And then she goes, come out here. And it was a tombstone with this little metal plate. And she lifted the metal plate up, and there's a black and white picture of a man with a mustache. Whoa. And she goes, yeah, that guy's down there. So these old cemetery headstones had pictures of the people down below. And that was just, it was trippy. It was kind of scary, but, I didn't really care. I just wanted to get back in the car and finish up business.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting busy.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that was my invitation to the cemeteries. And I like cemeteries today. Maybe that made it okay to go to cemeteries.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so Halloween, what I was mentioning, in Seattle, I guess before all the digital age, we had haunted houses. And downtown, they were put on by the radio stations, KJR, Channel 95, Haunted House Downtown. Huge house. And I think I mentioned this one of our first shows. We had Dave Aldred, the one you call Bowtie. He's been my buddy since third grade, and he still is. I mean, he's one of those guys that just, we know each other too well. But that's when he and I waited for about an hour and a half in line to get to this haunted house. And when we got to it, it took about 5 minutes to get through it. And I'm just like, that's not going to work for me, right? I just sat for an hour and a half. And that's when we went back in the exit and pretended that we worked there and somehow fooled enough people to where we had our own booth and we started scaring everybody for the rest of the night.
Yep.
That was fun. But that holiday is one of my favorites. I'm a big holiday guy, and Halloween sets off all the holidays. Thanksgiving coming up.
It's the beginning of the eating.
Man, it's absolute. Well, yeah, the I guess Thanksgiving is my absolute. I always wanted to go back east and spend Thanksgiving, which I might do this year.
It sounds fun.
Yeah, I want to. I think I've had a past life in Vermont or Connecticut or something. In fact, I know I have.
You want to go eat a goose back east and
eat a goose, have some blueberry syrup or something on some pancakes.
Yeah.
Go skiing in Vermont, something like that.
Doesn't sound half bad.
Put my LL Bean on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're dressed for the occasion for sure.
Yeah. I'm kind of sweating it up a little bit, but I wanted it to look like Halloween. I wanted it to look like the holidays. So tell me some of your family stuff for Thanksgiving. What do you guys do?
Thanksgiving, you got.
Because you're the legit family. You're the husband, the wife, and the 3 kids.
Yeah, we are. And then I came from immigrant family, so
family.
So we
Tell
get
us
to do
what that
that
means.
too. So that means you get different stuffing and all kinds of stuff.
Does that mean you get to eat the roll with baby Jesus in it?
No,
Or is that
baby
something else?
Jesus. We didn't do that.
All right,
but I mean, basically what it meant was you got the full American Thanksgiving, and then you got the we're from Italy, and we like it this way.
So it's like 2 divorced parents doing 2 Christmases.
Yeah, but at the same time.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, it was nuts. I mean, there was cousins coming out of the woodwork for the stuffing and stuff like that. It was, yeah. To this day, anytime my mom's like, "Hey, I made stuffing," she lives in L.A.
Is that the story where you go to your uncle's house and there's just food for? Was that the story that you told me where there's just food everywhere? Was that Thanksgiving?
Just growing up as a kid, there always was. We had a huge family, and whenever we'd go somewhere, there was just always food because there was just always people there.
Now, do the kids have their own table, like in the garage, or?
Yeah, kids are hanging out.
Out of mind.
And they're kind of free grazing. They're not really, it's not really sit down and eat time. The parents have
cage-free children.
Yeah, and they weren't big drinkers or anything. They were
kids.
No, I meant the parents.
All right.
Yeah, the kids.
They're Italian.
The kids
I gotta ask.
I mean, I don't even remember really wine being at the table. But these guys are just into eating and having a good time.
I think that's the French that do that. The kids in high school drink watered down wine.
Yeah, it's huge in Europe. I remember going to Europe and going to the liquor store and buying cigarettes for my dad. And not even, here you go. Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, people still smoke all over the place in Europe.
Yeah, I was kind of confused to learn that now in town squares like in Sicily, small town in Sicily, they've got casinos. So like the coffee shops have actual slot machines in them now. So
who's behind this? The Vatican?
Yeah, maybe.
We don't have enough money. Let's get some.
Yeah, I don't know. A couple years ago, I was talking to my cousin on Facebook. We reconnected, and
there's some people watching from Sicily.
Hello.
Yes.
I was shocked. I'm like, wow. He goes, yeah. He goes, there's casinos here in town now, and you can still smoke in the casinos, obviously there. So I'm like, you guys are getting pretty Americanized. I mean, they're out there on their cell phones. I even asked him one year, like, hey, do you want me to send you some Levi's jeans? I remember that was big. When
I remember that. You sent some T-shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah. He was like, nah, it's cool, man.
I remember with Jeff, and I don't want to ask you any questions because that's part of the deal, but he went to Europe and he went to all these different places that he was telling Craig Ferguson in one episode where he went to Europe, and I was going to tell him. I forgot to tell him before the show, but that's what I'm going to do pretty soon. I'm about to go to England, and I'm going to think about renting a house at a central location, and just like Elton John does, he rents a place and he goes on tour and comes back to the same house.
Yeah, I hope
because he likes to keep it familiar.
I hope you buy an outfit at each country you visit.
You know what? I used to buy a tie, but
There
now
you go.
I don't want to buy a tie anymore. I want to
Dress like a local.
You
every
know what
once
I
in a
want to
while.
buy? I want to buy like an oil painting from each place.
There you go.
Rod Stewart used to collect castles and put oil paintings in. Well, I can't collect castles, but I can get like an oil painting.
You could start the oil collection, the painting collection, and then do the castles later.
Yeah.
It's not a bad way to go.
Yeah, no, wouldn't that be neat?
Could do it.
Yeah. All right, so the Italian Thanksgiving sounds good. Do you drive to Los Angeles for that?
Drive to L.A., all the families get together, and it's a huge one.
And you get to see your friends?
I get to see everybody this year, too. I mean, last year we didn't get to see anybody.
Are
this
these
is like
the
first
friends
real holidays.
that you go to Palm Springs with?
I don't really
The
get
Rat
to
Pack?
Yeah. I don't get to see them over the holidays.
You gonna see
typically
Nappy?
Don't. No, I'm not going to see Nappy.
Not going to see Nappy?
No.
I got to ask.
Might
Well,
see him.
Bow
Might see
Tie.
him now.
I know Nappy, so
Yeah.
yeah, same deal.
Yeah, it's like the one name that keeps coming up, right?
Kind of a co-pilot type deal.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been around a long, long time. Good dude.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving, here's what I've been doing for the past few years, and I'm single, and I'm happily single, I might add. So I go to Lazy Acres. This in the morning. I bring a pie down to Casa. It used to be called Casa Esperanza. I don't know what it's called anymore, but I bring a pie down. I've done it for 20 years. We're the place where I got sober.
Yeah.
Bring a pie down. Then I go up to Lazy Acres and I get a full dinner. And then I go down to Whole Foods and get a full dinner. And then I come home. It's usually about noon. I'll eat one of the full dinners, and then I'll pass out, go to sleep for a few hours, and then I'll wake up and watch the Lions play, and then eat the second Thanksgiving. And to me, that's a perfect Thanksgiving.
Now, I remember one year you told me you went to the Muni Golf Course, and that sounded like the Super Bowl of Thanksgivings. Was that not?
Well, that was during the drug days. So let me tell you about that.
Oh, I thought this was recent.
You know what? That's right for food.
Yeah.
There was a time of the drug days where we went to, it was horrible. I was invited to this person's house for dinner, but he had these drugs, and we went to play golf, and he took off too fast with the golf course, with the golf cart, and I fell and I cracked my rib.
Oh.
But I couldn't feel it quite at the time because I was, flying high.
Under the influence.
And then we get to his house that his wife had spent God knows how long on this Martha Stewart, Thanksgiving table, and I couldn't do anything but just chew a piece of turkey for like a half an hour. I almost, I wanted to feed the dog. I didn't know what to do because you can't swallow. I'm for like 2 hours. And normally when I go over there, I eat everything in sight. They're like, Ben, how come it was bad. But anyway, there was a better one at the golf course. So the other time at the golf course, they have a full-on spread. And That's
pies.
I have so many Thanksgiving golf stories. You have to be a little more clear which one you want. The one up here at Muni, has a really good spread for like $30-$40, and you just eat like angry dogs.
Yeah, it's almost like Disneyland, right?
I ate so much that because when I first went in, the waitress says you can eat as much as you like, and then pretty soon they're like, they didn't even want me around the pie plates anymore, and they do this little like a casino size slice,
Yeah. They still have a picture of you in the back, I think.
Oh yeah, I haven't been up there in a while. It might be time to go back.
That place is killer. It's one of the best views in town.
Borrow Jeff's hat and walk in.
Take Jeff with you.
Well, I'll ask him.
Yeah, take him with you.
How much more time do we have? We have 10 more minutes. Good. So after the Thanksgiving thing, rolling on to Christmas.
Rolling on to Christmas. Now it gets to be the Super Bowl.
So now
you're
establishing traditions for your children. Because everything I remember, half of my memories of growing up, my mom did, she just did everything so incredible for us. Yep. I mean, hiding the Easter eggs and Easter and all that stuff. People say, well, that's kind of a Western thing. But, man, I have such great memories of all that stuff. So tell me the stuff that you're going to do for your kids.
Christmas, I get to do the family down south Christmas Eve, and then I get to come home for Christmas Day. So I get to do like both. But I'm super excited. We didn't get to do anything last year. So this is the first year we get to see everybody for Christmas. Again, I got a new nephew now that married into the family. So that's awesome.
So that'll be in L.A., right?
That'll be in L.A. So this is all
Pedro Land?
Torrance, Pedro, Torrance.
So let me ask you, will you have stockings?
I gotta do the stockings.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you get the stockings in the morning and open the presents in the morning, or do you do it at midnight the night before?
Stockings or morning?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Come on.
Do
people do it the other way too?
I've dated people who do everything at midnight. the night before.
We do gifts at midnight night before, and then we do some stuff.
You go to mass and well, see, I grew up watching Rudolph on Christmas Eve, and going to bed and just freaked out because Santa's coming in the morning, and sure enough, he was there, and it was just weird. But anyway, yeah, there's I think the Catholics they go to mass until midnight.
Yeah, I remember doing that as a kid. You just brought back a memory that I completely forgot about. Yeah,
and yeah, I never did that. I was always asleep by then.
Yeah, you're a wreck the next day.
I remember the rule was you could eat. We had candy canes on the tree, and you couldn't touch them until Christmas morning. And I would slide in there like home base, and I would just start. I'm sitting. My mom walks by, and I'm sitting. I do the tree like a rabbit, just sitting there eating.
Did you even take the plastic off, or
took the plastic off? The first one, probably not, but the rest of them I did. But yeah. So that's the one thing I miss. I have a cousin with a couple of young girls that I send tons of stuff to. That's where I have fun. Yeah. I mean, I buy them lots of stuff, but the only thing in life, I mean, I do whatever I want to do, and I love it. And here's the thing I was going to mention too. So moving forward, remember how my dream was to have like a talk show with like 50 people in it,
yeah,
like a morning show. So Wichita, Kansas, Alabama, Oklahoma, I don't care. Anybody sees this and think you might like it or might want to give Ferguson a shot at your morning show, call me. I will be there tomorrow, right? I had nothing holding me back, and I would absolutely love, that's my dream, is to sit there and have a morning talk show every morning with maybe guests rolling through your town, whatever it takes.
I bet that we're not too far off from seeing that.
God, that'd be fun, man.
Yeah,
I would love it. And I really will be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
3 o'clock, so you let me know if that's good for you.
Yeah, he's not kidding. The second you hang up.
Yeah, and you might come too, maybe for the weekend or something.
Yeah, I'll come visit.
Yeah.
Go to lunch or something.
Yeah. So holidays, big holidays. I appreciate those holidays. Those kids are going to have fun. Are the kids getting a bike? We got a milestone Christmas this year?
I just, that thought just hit me yesterday. Whoa, I got to figure out what's for Christmas this year.
Yeah, what's Luke get?
I don't know.
How old
I can't say it live. He might be watching it. I mean, he shouldn't be watching, but he might be.
How old is
he? Luke's turning 6 here.
Oh, that's bike time.
Yeah.
Does he have a bike?
He's got a bike. He's got a scooter, but yeah, it might be time for a new bike. I don't know.
Or an electric bike.
Whatever.
So the only thing with electric bike is you
get a lazy kid
in Ventura, and you're like, whoa, what happened, Luke?
Yeah, I've seen some kids flying around the harbor lately. That's like the cool new.
Or they're going off the jumps and doing flips and landing on their scooters.
Well, that's okay. I'm okay with that. But this is like, remember Kelly from Bad News Bears?
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's a couple of those kids hanging around State Street.
I just see him flying around. He slammed up against the fence.
Yeah, but now they're on electric, so there's no wang wang wang. They're just grab your purse and go.
Or the dude with the single wheel that's doing 30. It's like, dude, if you hit a pothole, you're done.
The one wheel.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They must know how to do a tuck and roll or something like that.
Or just
there's a guy that invented an airbag suit. Have you seen that
this?
thing?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Motorcycles.
I've seen it in horse riding.
You crash and you turn it like a hamster ball. You just go rolling down the street.
This one's kind of like, it looks like a life vest from the Titanic once it blows up.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know. I grew up in the Evel Knievel era, and I remember one Christmas morning. Speaking of Christmas, I got a brand new Columbia 3-speed with the banana seat, and it had the gear shift, and it was the coolest thing in the world. And I had it for about 3 months, and I brought it to my friend's house, and he lived in a real wealthy neighborhood, and it was a cul-de-sac, steep cul-de-sac. So we borrowed the neighbors probably about 15, 16 firewood logs, and then put a piece of plywood on it. And I went I want to be Evel Knievel. I wonder how many kids died from Evel Knievel.
Thousands.
Thousands. Yeah. I went as fast as I could, and I shot straight up, and I came straight down, and the bike just shoved in my face. So anyway, when I came to, the bike never was this. I couldn't ride it because the frame was bent, and I was just all broken down. But somehow I made it through.
I remember Chip. You remember the show Chips? Okay.
Ponch and John?
Yeah, well, there was an episode where a kid had a dirt bike, and I remember thinking, whoa, I mean, this is insane. And the kid was riding through L.A. Basin, and Ponch and John are
I kind of remember that.
Yeah, I mean, after that, it was like, I need a dirt bike. And from that moment on, I wanted a dirt bike or a quad or something. Never got it.
I got a Honda QA50 two-stroke. It was,
whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. How
old were you?
Not old. Probably 12, 13.
Old enough to get hurt?
Well, yeah, but it really didn't go very fast. And we had a big front yard, so I just kind of rode it in circles. My mom wouldn't really let me do much more than that. But then I bought a motorcycle when I was like 15, and from David Grayson. His father was a policeman. And my mom, came home and said, well, whose is that? And I said, I bought it. She goes, all right, get on it. I'm going to follow you over to David's house just right now. She gave me that look like you just did it, right? You didn't ask. And I brought it over and I said, hi, Dave, I got to give you a motorcycle back. I want my money back. Oh, sorry. I'm like, yeah, my mom's right there. And she said to do that. So he gave me all the money back.
Trust me, I tried everything.
That saved my life.
I tried everything. I tried, hey, can I get a moped? Hey, can I get a go-kart? Hey,
Moped.
anything with a motor. Please, can I just get anything? You
Yeah.
know? Never quite happened.
I remember the mopeds. We went to in high school. We went to Canada and we rented mopeds and we just destroyed those things. I don't even want to get into that.
That's how a lot of tourists don't make it back.
So when I was in
Renting
Canada that
mopeds.
time, that particular trip, I was up there with Dean Smith and I went up to buy a hamburger place, right? And I didn't have any Canadian money and I walked up and I said, this is back when Reagan was president. And I pulled the money. I'm like, excuse me, do you take regular money? And he goes, he gave me that like this, when I was in France when the lady yelled at me. Regular money? That's the devil's money. And I'm like, dude, I want a hamburger. What do I need to do to get a hamburger? But don't call it regular money up in Canada.
That's why you got to take your kids out of the country.
Take the kids out of the
Yeah,
country.
man,
What's
get
this
them
mean?
exposed early. That way, when they're Ferguson, they're gonna. Hey, you take regular money.
That was a little rough, but I made it okay.
I remember going to Canada and when I was a smoker years ago and buying a pack of Marlboro Lights, right? And they were like,
For like
oh, those
$15?
are, yeah, those are imports. They were like $22 or something.
You remember Macintosh toffee?
Yes.
Yeah. So when we were on the swim team, we went to Capilano up in Canada, and that was like heroin. You came back. Well, it wasn't like heroin, but
Child heroin. Yeah,
you're
I
right,
get
child
it.
kitty heroin. So it's like you get back about 10 boxes, and the next day you're going to school, and you just put it on your desk, and people walking by, and you're like, yeah, don't even think about touching it, but look what I got.
Yeah, that was like some
Ferguson's got
Chapo wealth. You're just
Oh, I
putting
can
it
see
out
it was a
there.
red box with a plaid stripe on it. Listen, we have 2 minutes left for our first Halloween. Jeff, I want to thank you for coming. If you ever see Craig Ferguson, I don't know what to say. Just tell me he's my absolute favorite comedian. And if you ever get to see that guy, Craig Ferguson,
Yeah.
oh my God,
If he's ever in town, take him out for a drink.
well, I don't know if we can do that, but go see him at Chumash or something.
Something.
But anyway, everybody watching, we again really appreciate you watching, and hopefully we're gonna do a better show each time for you. And thank you guys. Happy Halloween to everybody. And John, thank you for being here.
Thank you, and stick around.
Stick around. Yeah, we got another live show in about 10 minutes. So thank you all. I'm Ben Ferguson. That's John Cottadella.